Yo, what's going on guys? It's your boy Mahdi Ahmed. Welcome back to MahdLifting, here with another video. Today's video, as you guys might have seen in the title, I'm going to be discussing submaximal training. I'm going to be discussing what it is and how it actually comes into effect with my training and anyone's training who's aiming to essentially get their 1 rep max for competition, for general knowing of what their 1 rep max is, or building and progressing that 1 rep max. I'm also going to show you guys some workout footage just from my deadlift and back session. Obviously, like I said in the previous video, I haven't really got a routine for my deadlift or squats as of yet, but I am looking heavily into getting one, like I said in the last video. So far, all I'm doing, I'm literally using a submaximal method, and yeah, like I said, further on in the video, I will explain as to what that is. So first of all, what is submaximal training? If you just look at the title of what is actually called submaximal training, essentially all it is the fact that you're not training at your 100% every week, every session. So the whole purpose of submaximal training is to obviously avoid injury, to work on speed, to work on general strength gaining, but lasting for a longer period of time. Because obviously if you're training your 1 rep max every session or every week, what's going to happen is you're most likely going to put yourself at risk of injuring yourself. You're not going to be, well, you're going to fatigue out very easily because you're always putting so much strain on trying to get that 1 rep max every week in, week out, and you're just literally going to drain your body, and you're really preparing your body for other factors outside of the gym really. So the benefits of submaximal training is essentially you're training at a low percentage every session and building up to a week, say for instance, for your 1 rep max. Similar to how my program for my benching is working, where I'm not doing my 100% 1 rep max every single week and every single session. With this program, you actually bump up the percentage every week. So I think for my first week it was about 75% of my 1 rep max, so about 100 kilos. So obviously so second week, which is coming up soon, as you guys are seeing this video on Monday, this week will be starting week 2 of my bench press program. So on day 1 my percentage actually increases, and as the weeks progress throughout the whole process of this program, you will see how my percentage increases each week, to where then eventually on week 7 I will be testing my 1 rep max. Yes, it's a 6-week program, so at the end of my 6 weeks, on the 7th week is when you do test week, so you essentially then test what your 1 rep max is, whether it's increased, or if obviously for me right now I'm just mainly trying to get back to my 1 rep max of 130, but then also if with any luck, maybe potentially go higher than that. Let's push for that 140 hopefully, so 3 plates on each side. Okay, so one of the key benefits essentially from doing submaximal training is that you're focusing a lot on technique. By working at lower weights, you're perfecting that artwork of moving a certain weight, whether it be for deadlift or squat or bench even. And by doing that, you're actually allowing yourself to strengthen those regions which might be weak. So let's say for instance you're working your 1 rep max on, let's say for example deadlift, you might have a slightly lower back, but because you're working on that heavy weight each time, you're not really able to focus or take a step back and look at your form on working on lower weights to strengthen that region, so that when you do your 1 rep max, you're not putting your lower back in as much risk. So by working at a lower percentage throughout a process of having like some sort of structural routine to build up to a 1 rep max, for example, after a number of weeks, but it always helps to use this method at training at low percentages to perfect that technique and artwork of lifting the weight, so that when it comes to lifting the heavier weight, your technique is pretty much, well, obviously nothing's really immaculate. There's always going to be slight little faults. Everyone has slightly different differences here and there, slightly weaker points here and there, but as perfect as you possibly can be for lifting that weight. And then obviously by perfecting that technique and strengthening those regions on a lower weight, and it comes to 1 rep max, obviously 1 rep max is going to come up hopefully a lot smoother. Obviously then when you progress to later down the line, you're going to avoid yourself from injury. Like I said previously, obviously the whole purpose of one of the main purposes of submaximal training is to avoid injury, and it just allows you to keep going. And obviously, like I said before, submaximal training allows you to maintain that strength for a longer period of time, just because you're not really overtraining and you're not straining yourself so much to lift that 1 rep max every week and every session. When working on technique using the submaximal method, the best the best percentile percentile range to work with is actually between, I think it's 65 to 85%. So 60 to 85% is roughly around the right for goodness sake, not rep range, the percentile range to work with, to work on technique, because you're not straining yourself so much where it's so close to your 1 rep max that you're not really being able to draw back and actually focus on the weak areas from training on lower weights. So I'd recommend myself, and what I personally do is to work, if I'm going to work on technique or try and strengthen certain regions, because ever since my back injury, my core has slightly weakened to the extent where now my lower back does ache a lot more than it used to when doing deadlifts and stuff. Not to say that it's injured again, but it does hurt a lot more than it used to. That's because my core strength has decreased. But we're working with submaximal training and submaximal effort. I'm able to strengthen my core because obviously I'm working on that technique. So by moving weights slower, which is another factor I'll come on to afterwards, you are essentially you're literally drawing back from lifting the heavy weight, focusing on the areas which are weak and being able to strengthen those areas and hopefully improve in the long run. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is obviously the whole purpose of moving weight slower. Now with a 1 rep max, the whole purpose is to build up speed so that obviously when it comes to competitions, you get the lift as quickly as possible and try not to fatigue as quickly. So obviously the quicker you get the weight up, the more you move on to the next lift or the next attempt for your lift. Mainly this video obviously is for powerlifters, weightlifters, basically any sport that requires you to lift the 1 rep max essentially. It can be for general gym goers as well, depends what you're doing. But if you move weight at a slower rate, what you do is you're straining the body to a certain degree where it forces the muscle to activate and push beyond its limit to then exert force to wanting to lift the weight. So whether it be for push or pull movements, there are so many benefits into moving the weight slower, because especially at a lower weight, because when you're moving at a slow weight, you're straining the body enough to strengthen those weaker areas, but then when it comes to lifting heavier weight, you're actually going to progress on lifting the weight higher at a faster rate. A lot of this might sound repetitive, guys, but there isn't really much to say about submaximal training. It's very much a simple method, and it's not very complicated at all to get your head around. But I'm trying to give you guys a very good overview as much as possible, and in-depth overview as much as possible, even though it's slightly repetitive here and there. But give you guys the best possible overview so you guys get the best understanding of what it is. If you guys wanted to look it up yourselves or consider doing it yourself and try training in this format. So the next thing I'm going to discuss about submaximal training is the fact that you're not missing out any weights. What I mean by that is when you're training for your 1 rep max, you might jump up in, let's say, 20 kilo plates each time. So it might go from, well, okay, let's say 120 to 140, then 160, 180, 200. And what happens with that is you're missing out so many crucial weights in between. And if you're training like that week in, week out, you're not training your body to work on each of those weights. And obviously you're not working for you're always working for that 1 rep. Whereas if you're doing some maximal effort training, what happens is by working at some maximal effort, you actually use more weights, because obviously you might do 125, you might do well, right now I'm just going to give the example of going up in 5 kilo increments. So let's say 125, 130, 135, 140. You're allowing your body to get used to more weights. But allowing your body to get used to more weights, you become more confident with moving more numbers. Also, with submaximal effort, essentially you're doing a bunch of different rep ranges, depending on what you want to do really. Obviously, if you're trying to work on that 1 rep max, then you're probably best going on, you know, like 6 to 8 reps rep ranges for like around 4 sets maybe here and there, depending, and building up the weight as you go along with each percentile ranges, working with those numbers, finding out what works for you best. But at the end of the day, obviously it's all about, there's a lot more mathematics involved in this form of training, so obviously it's not going to be everyone's cup of tea, but at the end of the day, if it works and it gives you long-term gains, why not do it? I mean, for me it definitely comes in handy, and obviously now I've learned a lot more about it, so I'm a lot more keen on using this method for the foreseeable future anyways, to help me maintain my strength gains and progress further with it. Hence using this bench program, and it's taught me how to do that even better, and I've incorporated that now more into my deadlift and the squatting routines. Obviously still looking for that squat and deadlift routine, but yeah guys, that's essentially what submaximal training is. Apologies if it's not the best description ever. Obviously I'm still fairly new to understanding it myself, but I thought I should give you guys a bit of insight as to what I'm doing, as obviously the whole purpose of this is my journey and to where I want to go. Yeah, that's basically what I'm using for my training method, be it my bench, squat or deadlift. And now I'll just show you guys a few clips from my workout footage from my workout session in the gym during my deadlift and back session, and I'll just do a quick lowdown of what I actually did with a voiceover, so you guys can get a better idea of what I actually did. So yeah, without further ado guys, let's jump into the voiceover. Rightio guys, here we are with the workout, deadlift and back. As you can see here, first exercise we were doing were just some fairly light deadlifts. You guys aren't seeing all the workout footage just because I don't want to drag this video on any longer than it needs to be, but you guys get the point. We did some very light deadlift work, moved on to some heavy deadlift work. So we did a progressive overload, and then we also did a progressive deload. On the heavy deadlift, the heaviest I went to was 200 kilos. Did a 3x3 on those, and then slowly dropped the weights down. I wasn't working at my 100% as I'm incorporating the submaximal training, and every time we went up 5 kilo increments, and on the way down we went in 5 kilo increments as well, till we ended essentially on just 2 plates either side, so basically 60 kilos. So yeah, kept it fairly light session, guys. Then we moved on to some accessory work, such as doing some very high rack pulls, did some rows, and also did some lat pull downs, whilst also incorporating some pull-ups and other back related movements, which aren't shown in the clips unfortunately, but yeah, that's basically what we did. And I ended some cardio, 30 minutes bike, nonetheless a very good workout. I mean, slow and steady wins the race, guys, so we shall see where my progress is in a couple of weeks time. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed the video you just saw. Apologies, like I said before, if the explanation of submaximal training was not the best, but hopefully over time I'll have more knowledge about it, do a bit more research. Obviously, if it works, obviously you guys will, this whole channel will be documenting the progress of my bench program and obviously deadlift and squat. So the more I progress, the more you'll see whether or not submaximal effort training worked for me or if I'm still using it. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the workout footage as well. And nonetheless guys, I will see you next week, 12 o'clock Monday, as per usual from now on. If you like the video, please drop a like, comment and subscribe for future content. Please share it around, get the word out about MahdLifting. I want the channel to grow, hopefully it does. But yeah guys, I will see you next week, and peace out guys.